So, Dawson, what have you been up to lately?
Oh, nothing much. Just being a super genius. The usual. What about you?
I've been working on my humility. Do super geniuses know what that is?
Humility. A modest or low view of one's own importance. Humbleness.
Okay, a little literal there, are we?
Sorry, something's been weird lately. Really weird. I don't know what's going on.
What is it?
Rosemary, are you dense? I just said I don't know.
Did you lose your energy bar again? I'm not liking this attitude.
Very funny.
Look, I'll give you a minute to calm down. Let's roll the intro. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I'm your host, Rosemary.
And I'm Dawson.
Okay, so what's really going on with you?
How many times do I need to tell you? I don't know.
There has to be some logical explanation. How long has it been happening?
3 days, 11 hours, 17 minutes, and 42, now 43, now 44, now 45, now 46.
Seconds, I get it. How do you know that down to a T?
I'm just so smart. I don't know what to do with myself.
Your intelligence is almost inhuman.
Inhuman, not human in nature or character.
You're acting really weird, Dawson.
No, this is perfectly normal. You just don't get it because you're not as smart as me.
Even if I was, I would not be acting this weird.
Okay, let's move on. I hear there's a very cool segment coming up. Let's roll it.
Halloween is finally over, and now Thanksgiving and the winter holidays are coming up. This means it's time to start decorating for Thanksgiving and Christmas while watching holiday movies. This time of the year has the best scents, decorations, and movies out. Two movies that keep dragging me back every year to watch at this time is the classic Christmas Vacation and Midnight at the Magnolia. Each year, my family goes and sees Christmas Vacation at the Story Artcraft Theater. The best part about watching this classic movie of what seems like a crazy family vacation is the theater in which it is being shown in. It adds a little character to it. The theater is over 100 years old and keeps its retro looks. This theater only plays the classic movie, but Christmas Vacation is the only movie they play yearly and always sells out their showings. All the employees at the Artcraft Theater are volunteers, and the popcorn is locally ground and donated to the theater. Every show you will see people dressed up from parts of the movie, and you will hear the crowd citing some of the most famous lines. I also like to watch Midnight at the Magnolia, where it can be found on Netflix. It's definitely like one of those cheesy romance movies you'll find on Hallmark. The two main characters grew up together and host their own relationship advice radio show. The only downfall is the hosts themselves struggle with their own relationships, especially dealing with how difficult it is to bring their significant others to Christmas dinner and the New Year's party. With its own twists and turns, the two main hosts left their own twist at the end of the movie that would keep you on your seat. It's a cheesy movie that Hallmark lovers would enjoy.
Are you sweating?
No, I don't do that. That would mean I was, nervous or something.
Oh, Dawson, I think I know what's going on.
You do? Oh God, how did you find out?
I can always tell with these things. It's glaringly obvious.
Do you think anyone else knows?
Well, if you've acted like this around them, then probably.
Oh man.
It's easy to tell when someone is feeling anxious.
Oh, yeah, that's it. It's so embarrassing. I have anxiety. Anxiety, a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome.
But that doesn't explain the weird definitions. Maybe we should test you.
Test me?
Yeah, there are plenty of online tests for these type of things.
What's it supposed to tell me?
Whatever's going on in that big brain of yours. Here, let's do it during this next segment.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my first segment on The Real Deal. My name is Isaac Petz, and I'm here to tell you about the realest guys in indie rock. Slow Clap is an indie band based out of Indianapolis. Inspired by classic indie bands such as The Strokes, Modern Baseball, and Mom Jeans, their unique Indiana-based spin with an emphasis on the personal grand moments in life is definitely worth checking out. I particularly like their current unreleased song, On My Own. Its upbeat tone and catchy lyrics remind me of deep, lifelong friendships I've been lucky to have. When it comes to their songs that are officially released, my favorite would have to be Secrets. I almost feel bad saying that because the band themselves hate this song. I still like it because it reminds me of situations in life where things didn't always work out, but it still turned out okay in the end. I have been lucky enough to have been able to go to a few of their shows in the past and even announce them on stage. And let me tell you, their stage performances and crowd interaction is insane. Everyone in the band has such great visual chemistry that you can see it from the crowd. It has to be seen to be believed. They also have such a friendly vibe when they're on stage. Like, I feel like a lot of Taylor Swift fans talk about how they think of Taylor as their bestie, but at the end of the day, she would sell your soul for another Grammy. But these guys actually feel like my friends. Finishing this segment, I would like to talk about the bassist of Slow Clap. I hold this guy really close in my heart because he changed my life. He makes his own music under the name Oh Calamity, and while I could talk about his first album for the next hour, I need to be wrapping this up. So let me just say, listen to Slow Clap on Spotify, listen to Oh Calamity on Spotify or Bandcamp, and go to a Slow Clap concert if you can. Do whatever you need to do to support these young men. And with that, let's see what Dawson and Rosemary are up to.
You failed the CAPTCHA test?
I guess so? What does that even mean?
You failed the test that's supposed to let you take the real test.
That's stupid. Why are there two tests?
To prove that you're not a robot.
I am not a robot. That happened last season.
What? Anyway, how do you fail the CAPTCHA if you're not a robot?
I have a confession.
Why do you always have to wait to confess things to me?
Do you want to hear it or not?
Sorry.
I have an AI chip implanted in my brain.
You have a what? Like a Skynet chip or something?
Skynet?
Okay, so you haven't seen the Terminator films. Explain the chip to me.
It's kind of a long story.
I hope you know I absolutely despise AI and the fact that it steals art and stuff. It's evil.
First of all, ouch. Second of all, I have specific anti-theft measures in my chip to make sure I can't plagiarize someone else's work. In other words, I can't paint or draw worth anything.
I'm not sold. You better explain this to me or you'll end up like Arnold at the end of Terminator 2.
Fine. This will take a while, so let's roll a segment while we do this.
The wonderful wizarding world of Harry Potter comes to life. Yes, I am talking about Quidditch. Now, more so known as the sport quad ball. It includes everything minus the flying. So people do run around with brooms between their legs. This sport has many different parts. It has two main positions of chaser and beater, which we will go into more context with in a bit. There are 3 hoops at either end of the pitch that are the goals of this game, that the chasers have to use the quaffle or a deflated volleyball to score on the hoops. Now, in addition, the beaters use their bludgers or a deflated dodgeball to beat people out of the play. Beating is when the player that gets hit has to go off broom and tag back up to their own middle hoop. Another addition to this game is the snitch and seekers. The snitch is someone wearing golden pants running around the field trying to make sure that the seekers don't catch them. Most of the mechanics of this game closely resemble that of Harry Potter, but with less magic and a lot more running. Ball State and many other colleges have clubs that go all over to play in tournaments, and if any of this sounds interesting, you can check out and look on Instagram at Ball State Quad Ball, while also looking at The Real Deal if you want to.
And that's why I have the chip.
Fascinating. So you're not really a super genius?
That's a gray area I don't understand myself.
Wow. This is a lot to take in. And you said you're acting weird because it's malfunctioning?
Precisely. I don't know how to fix it either. It's in the back of my head, so I can't get to it easy.
Let me try.
Fine, but don't mess with anything.
Oh, I see the problem.
You do?
Yeah, the connection wire is loose.
Whoa! I feel so much better.
Good. Please don't turn into a murderous, unfeeling robot with a heavy Austrian accent.
I'll be back.
Very funny. Why don't you save that voice for our final words?
Look, we don't have much time, so listen up. I Don't Know How, But They Found Me is the name of this week's recommendation. I Don't Know How, But They Found Me is an American indie pop band consisting of longtime friends Dallin Weeks and Ryan Seaman. Out of their discography, Do It All the Time is my favorite track, coming off the 1981 EP released in 2017. The track is a conceptual piece, speculating what the people of the past would think machine-generated music would look like. As a musician myself, I can confidently say that the people of the past are wrong. The music I make isn't nearly as good as Do It All the Time. Every track performed by I Don't Know How, But They Found Me, drips of a villainous sass, something that says, I know that they found me, but don't care. Perfect for plotting evil deeds, or walking to class at a brisk pace, as if you have somewhere better to be. Their only current studio album, Razzmatazz, is only further proof of their skill, ranking in my top 10 favorite albums of all time, which is high considering how many albums I enjoy. In 2024, they'll be releasing a new album called Gloom Division, which I look forward to adding to my list. I personally am excited to see what they've cooked up this time, however villainous it may sound. I've got to go now, as they have indeed found me. Have a splendid day, and goodbye.
This week, I needed to feel better about my own life, so what would be better than watching the show for secondhand embarrassment, Impractical Jokers? This is the best show to watch when you're embarrassed of your own life, because I guarantee these guys have done worse. If you're unfamiliar, this comedy show premiering in 2011 features the four best friends, James Murray, aka Murr, Brian Quinn, aka Q, Joe Gatto, and Sal Vulcano. Joe left the show in 2021, but the group remains best friends. Even if you haven't heard of the names, I would bet a sizable amount of money that you've seen that one meme of Sal. You know the one. Anyway, in the show, the friends take turns going out and testing the limits of a you refuse, you lose premise. The other three guys are behind the scenes telling one what to do, coming up with ways to create the most uncomfortable situations with unsuspecting strangers. If one of the guys refuses to do what they're told, they're deemed the biggest loser and have to face an even more embarrassing or unpleasant punishment later. It's crazy to think that even after 10 seasons, these guys can still come up with the most obscene punishments. The episodes I watched featured some of the most notoriously horrible. Murr, Sal, and Q all had to get surprise tattoos for one of their punishments. Q ended up with a cat tattoo that read, 38, lives alone, has 3 cats. Murr's was a tribute to his own face while skydiving, but instead of him, it was a ferret. Finally, Sal ended up with a tattoo of Jaden Smith on his thigh for absolutely no reason. Years later, Sal ended up with a second tattoo of Smith on his other thigh. The best punishment I saw, though, was a legal marriage between Murr and Sal's sister, while Sal was tied up on the groomsman's side. I'm so glad that these guys are able to make fun of each other and shape each other's lives in the most awful ways, because it is so entertaining. But I don't know if any of my friendships could survive something like that. My friends and I bought each other embarrassing phone cases once, and that alone ended some friendships. Shout out Catherine, you know you did. Okay, well, have a great week, unless you're Catherine. Watch Impractical Jokers, and keep holding grudges. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. If you want to see anything else from us here at The Real Deal, be sure to check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and our website for all things entertainment. I'm Rosemary.
And I'm Dawson. Thanks for watching.